Good morning. Happy KQ Day. And this is a special Sunday collective where we're joining in from the KQ celebrations. And Ma, you're wearing the KQ colors of
the
gold and the purple.
With a touch of pink.
So tell me a little bit more about why gold and purple are such powerful spiritual colors. And of course, why do we have them as the key colors of the KQ force?
Because they are the colors of the spiritual universe and they come down in a very purified way into our world. And the gold color, different shades of gold and yellow, is the resonance of the crown chakra, the higher crown chakra and the highest crown chakra. So the resonance of that is completely majestic and it brings all the opulence down. And the third eye chakra, which is the chakra that every other chakra obeys, is purple in color, and it's the third eye chakra at the center of your forehead. So when we connect to the karma quotient force and we are initiated into it by a bona fide master, then the energies descend and the gold color comes on the right side of our body and the purple color descends to the left side of our body, and the spiraling energies then start like a cyclotronic force to impact the karma of our beautiful destiny. And of course, this destiny is stored in a very small seed parcel at the center of our Kundalini chakra, which is just above our root, and it resonates with the yellow and the blue and the red energies. And when it unfolds, it moves up the Sushumna Nadi, which is the central channel in in the physical realm. We would say it's the spine.
Okay.
And it moves. And I remember once somebody had, one of my gurus had explained it, that it's like a ping pong ball in a glass of water. And when you pour water, the ping pong ball rises, right?
Yes.
So the same way the karma, when we are initiated into the karmic healing, the KQ force, then it's like we are pouring that beautiful gold and purple light into our Kundalini chakra, because it's a vessel of our karmic influences that we've carried from previous lifetimes, and that negative karma starts to lift and come up, and in the presence of the KQ force it starts to dilute and heal and turn to positive, and it rises and then it overflows outside our crown chakra and it's dissipated, and we don't have to experience the negative karmic consequences and experience pain and misfortune, obstacles, doubts, fears, hurts, impatience, greed, avarice, jealousy. All those energies then flow out, because those are the energies that when we experience, we are inviting from the external universe, and they're magnifying and giving us a lot of heartache. So when you get connected, then it's an automatic process. This energy starts to flow out, and the rivers of good fortune, the rivers of gold and purple flow out of our body, and they impact our world, and they impact other souls that you live with. And I explained it very well that, supposing that you're at a traffic light and you're parked and you're waiting for the light to turn green, and somebody comes from the back and they're very impatient, and suddenly your car stops running and when the light turns green, and so you're trying to do put the ignition and restart your car, but people are really being impatient in the background. And then sometimes somebody may even be in haste and bang the car into yours, or you bang into somebody who's crossing the road. So there could be an accident, and in that moment, the person who's hit you from the back, you, and the person who was crossing the road, everybody's karma is co-aligned. Now supposing if you had healed, then that person would not be crossing at that time, so you've saved him from injury and pain. And if the person has been patient, or your car has not stopped running, then everybody's in a free flow and moving. So all souls are impacting our soul group, and we are sometimes in a very difficult situation where the patterns of each other's karmic influence is impacting our life and creating consequences. So we want that everything should be natural, healed, positive, and we are flowing with that ascension of good fortune that we are unfolding every day. And remember that the good fortune is always the stream upstream, and of course the blessings and the supreme light is always descending down. So ascension and descension are both very practical influences in a healer's life. And we continue to live with the good fortune of my beautiful KQ force, and we live with the light, and we live where the light lives. So in a very succinct way, we're celebrating 19 complete years and we're stepping into the 20th. And that's what I sent out in the message today, that we are resonating once again at the highest crown chakra, where there is the supreme, brightest gold light studded with diamonds. And that's where we're going to live for the next 1 year and heal our lives.
I love that. And there are so many messages of how blessed everyone's feeling to have your glorious darshan on this surreal and auspicious day.
Lovely.
And many, many wishes of the KQ celebrations.
It's not a birthday. It's a spiritual day. I know lots of people are saying happy 19th and happy this and happy that. So I was just thinking that, in a spiritual realm, it's what is that essential feeling that all of you should be feeling? You should be feeling gratefulness and an ability to share forward. So do something for someone else. At least send out the light from your heart. Because it's not a set of words, it's your actions that do purify the seed program of your destiny. So if your actions are not changing, words are very insufficient.
Understood.
Understood?
Yes,
Or
understood.
maybe I should tell a story.
Yes, Ma, always.
Always. So
Ready.
there was this beautiful, beautiful king who used to live in his kingdom with a lot of opulence. He was very noble, very rich, and he was always enjoying his wealth and, dressing well, going out and in his radiant carriages. And there was one poor man who used to live in a hut just outside this nobleman's palace. So he used to just wait and, he used to do some work, and he used to be like a laborer, and when he would get work, he would get money, he would eat food. So one day, for many days, he didn't get any work, and he had not had any food. So he thought that there's this noble man and he's very, very pious and all, I'll ask him to help me, maybe give me some food. So he approached him. And he said that, I'm really, really very hungry, so can you give me some food? So he said, yes, please come, please come. And he made him sit on his very royal table. And then he said that, oh, you're very hungry? He said, yes, I'm very, very hungry. So he said, okay, I'm going to now give you lots of delicious food. So he said that, to his servants, please bring some water, we're going to wash our hands. And before the servants could come with any water, he started washing his hands, pretend. So the poor hungry man looked around and didn't find anybody came. So he also started doing what the noble man was doing. And then he said, yes, now give us the plates and then, let's eat. And there's this delicious food, there's this. And he started to pretend to eat. So this poor man was looking at him. So he also started to do what the noble man or the kingly man was doing, and he just kept saying, this is so delicious, have some more of this, have some more of that. So he also, kept copying what the noble man was doing. And then he was thinking, what is happening here? But, he was looking at his host, and he was saying that I have come to partake of what he has to give, and this is what he's giving, so I have to partake of it. So after a long while, and he said, this is the dessert, and have some drink and have some water, and would you like some juice and some lassi? And so he was drinking, and then this man was also pretend drinking. And then he said to the man that, are you satisfied? So the nobleman asked. So the poor man said, sir, if you're satisfied, I'm more than satisfied. So he said, yes, I'm very, very satisfied. I've been a great host. So the hungry man folded his hands in a namaste position, bowed down and thanked him for his hospitality, and was on, leaving. And then the nobleman said, this was actually a test. I wanted to see if you had patience and you had, come into my abode, and whatever I was going to give to you, were you willing to accept? And so then he clapped his hands, and then the boys came and they started serving the good food and everything. And then he, feasted on all the great dishes and everything. So at the end of that feast, the king said, or the nobleman said to him, that I'm very impressed with you. So he said, why? He said that you didn't have any greed. You didn't come and ask me for money. For your hunger, you just asked for food, and then whatever I gave you, you partook of that, and you were not an opportunist saying that there's a rich man, let me ask him for something more and more and more. And so now I've decided that you've shown so much patience and so much of goodness in your heart that you were even willing to leave without even in a pretend situation. So now I'm not only going to not let you go back to your poverty, because I have a farm and I want you to take care of it and live on it and have enough food for the rest of your life. So the point is that finally, sometimes most of life, people are pretending. But when you get connected to the KQ force and you start healing your karma, then that pretense gets eradicated and the real good fortune starts to flow in. And that stream is always upwards. It's always making you into a better person, giving you maybe more wealth, more comfort, less hunger, less pain, less doubt, less fear. And so this story is about patience. It's about not being hasty in wanting something right now, and actually putting your personalized individual self out there for people to recognize the goodness in your heart.
So how do we really practice to not have haste? Can it be practiced,
Yeah,
or is it
can
something,
be practiced.
or do we have to harness something? So how do we?
You have to harness your false ego.
So how, like,
So
of
that
course, there's
man could have
meditation.
been, mocking the nobleman, could have got angry, could have said, what, I've come here in great poverty and great hunger and you're playing this game with me. There could have been so many which are stories of all of you out there, that when you ask somebody for something and they don't give it to you right away, you get really, really upset and really angry. It could be even, if you ask for a cup of tea and the person who's making it forgot or got delayed or was doing something else and brought it late. I've seen people fling food plates and do some really strange behaviors. So the point is that it's always the false ego, and interestingly, where your seed packet of karma is sitting, very close to it, your false ego is also sitting. So mostly the false ego is the one that steps in to not allow you to get your good fortune unravel. So you have to practice humility. You have to practice gratitude. You have to practice acceptance that whatever the divine and your written karmic record that you've unraveled or you've written in the house of karma is in unfolding is no one else's fault. You wrote it out and you want to experience it because that was the shortest route to back home to the divine, and that's what you decided to endeavor in this life. And everybody should get 100 on 100 and go back to that opulent world of gold and purple.
how beautiful this journey of gold and purple is, Ma, and so grateful for all that you shared. And so this one word that or this one action or pattern rather of being hasty, I really would love for you to tell us how, in one sense, that it impacts us in not negative ways, but sort of
mostly
negative and delayed ways. I was
Yeah.
trying to think of a non-negative word, but it is negative. It's destructive, for it destroys our peace of mind, our relationships, the worlds that we pass through, be it our personal, professional.
I've always explained it very simply to little children in the seminars as well, that look at it like this, that the opportunity is always a limited time frame. Now let's take an example that the school gate opens at 8 a.m. and closes at 10 past 8. So all the kids, all the buses, everybody has to get into the school. And then the gate closes at 10 past 8. 10 past
10
8.
past 8, sorry. Yes.
Okay. So now, if the child is very hasty and goes there at 6 o'clock and keeps waiting, the school gate isn't opened, and 5 minutes to 8 gets really restless
And leaves.
So the gate is going to open at 8 a.m., right? So it's most appropriate not to be so hasty, because with the waiting, you're wilting and you are very frustrated and very unhappy. And now supposing you go there at 8:11, then you have to wait for the next morning.
Yes.
But there are some people who will wait.
So sometimes, actually, this really clarifies for me, and I'm sure for a lot of others listening in, that I always assume that being hasty is something that we're doing very quickly, but we can be anxious and quick for something well in advance than the opportune time. And that delay then creates dissatisfaction and anger and resentment and restlessness.
And incomplete work. Because when we are so busy complaining and saying that life is so that we are so unlucky and life is so bad and people around us have done this to us and that, and we're never looking at our own purpose, at our own strength, at our own individual strength of what we are going to put out there, right? So we have to be very, very appropriate. And if we are appropriate, then we are very, very sublimely situated in our karmic record, always taking us to the right place at the right time to get the fulfillment of the right action and reap the benefits of that good fortune and share it with others. And finally, it is about how much are you doing for yourself and how much are you doing for, the others in your family, in your environment, in your society, in your universe. Finally, it's about what is your nature of individuality. Yesterday, I was telling somebody that, they have a very badly placed Jupiter, so they should do something to share with others. So I was really, quite amazed that the person said that would 1 teaspoon of that be enough as daan?
Oh.
And he must be, I think, at least 80 kilo gentleman. So 1 teaspoon is 5 grams, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And he thought that 5 grams of that something to separate from himself would be enough to rectify his entire karmic record. So I told him it has to be at least 1/10 your body weight for it to have any impact, right?
Yes.
So even when you're giving away, they say, 1/10 of even your earnings you should share with, generously
with others.
With others who are not, it's not your personal endeavor, but you're sharing with society, with the temple, with maybe, family members who are not so well placed so that you can support them. But I think that in society today, people are not very generous and they are really thinking it's about me and how much more can I have and what is my right and why should I share it with others. I find this a lot in with the people that I'm interacting with these days and trying to help them solve their karmic destiny blocks. So it takes a lot of persuasion to get them to really give forward.
So what is it about the human, is it the greed element or is it our desires and ambitions that stamp out that generosity of the self, and we're very hastily dismissing people?
I think it's impatience and always wanting more. I recently have been watching, a lot of young, purposeful, professional children, I would call them, from the age of 24 to about 30, 35, and they get a
young
promotion.
Professionals.
Yeah, young professionals. They get a promotion and they're immediately asking me, when is the next one coming? They're dissatisfied. And they want that they should be on the treadmill of life running faster and faster, and they should get more money, more recognition, more, the position of the boss, and when is it going to happen, when is the boss leaving, when can we step into his shoes, and how we can do so much better and better and better and better. They're not really standing still and giving themselves the accolades of having achieved where they've reached. They don't have time to enjoy that. They don't have time to appreciate. They don't have time to even say thank you to their own destiny and to their parents and to maybe the boss who helped them reach their position. They're always complaining about how there's insufficiency. So that insufficiency or lack of, or even in the story, the man was hungry for many days before he approached the nobleman to get some food in his belly. And he didn't want that he should give him money that he could eat for the rest of his life, right?
No, yes.
He was just asking for in the moment because he knew tomorrow he could get work and he could, which
survive,
he did get, yeah.
Which he could survive and thrive.
Yeah. So that is the basic intent of a human mind. Finally, it's always our mind that is playing rock and roll with us.
Absolutely.
It's the purple light. So the purple light can either be the majestic intelligence and wisdom, which is unfolding understanding, is taking you to reflection and contemplation and meditation for doing the right action. And it can also be the same purple light that can take you to immense greed and mental, agitation and disquiet and, helplessness. Because remember that your third eye chakra is the Agya chakra, which is giving the instructions to the rest of your body and how and what to do, when to breathe, when to digest the food, when to, all the internal organs are, when to excrete. All those functions are happening in direct control of your third eye. So when the third eye is not playing the supreme role, then we are definitely agitating ourselves and we're becoming more and more unhappy people. So I always say that people should just center themselves and drink lots of water, because the purple light is in the water, and walk on the green grass. There's lots of purple light coming out of the green grass that activates our feet chakras to give us a new destiny favors,
Yes.
So that's what we should really look at. How are we going to center ourselves in a state of peacefulness and really desire only that which really augments our ability to be of service to the world that we live in, to the parents that we are born to the family that we are living with, and to our work that we are doing, even if it's work from home. Because there can be so many things that you can do better and better and better, and then the universe will always reciprocate, will respond with great gifts.
I love
That's
that.
how you have to move forward.
So what are the 3 gifts that we can give the world, the universe? The first is gratitude.
No, the gifts
No?
that you can give forward to other human beings
beings.
is to feed a hungry person, and to support maybe a family who's not doing so well, or even give a job to somebody who is underprivileged or is not being helped by his own destiny, to really lift somebody up. And of course the animals, the birds, the bees, to plants, nature. You can water the plants, you can just appreciate them. Sometimes just appreciation is so important for nature to give us the food that we eat, which is coming from the plants. Is you can appreciate it and say, what a flavor, what a delight, what a beautiful color. But people are usually complaining, this is not tasty, this is not sweet enough, this is too sour, this is giving me indigestion, this is giving me, our mind. Remember the mind and the eyes and ears and nose and mouth and the skin that are really not responding with great equanimity and great culture and great, because they're wild horses, our senses. And the mind is the charioteer that is holding. So sometimes they are infiltrating and making the charioteer go quite crazy. So the mind is then disturbed and is not getting the right messages. And then
So then if I see that you've actually given us 6 points, 3 very practical, physical, material actions and 3 spiritual, meditative, fundamental truths. The first being gratitude, the third being equanimity, what you're talking about, and humility. And the middle one, I think, which is really, for me, the most important, is the appreciation aspect. And to not be complaining and not being criticizing. You always emphasize that. And then the 3 practical ones being to feed a hungry soul, to the third one being to uplift someone who doesn't have a job, and the middle one again, which I think is so important, is to support and help a family in need or a person in need. So it could be with someone's education, it could be with someone's medical bills, it could be getting someone medicine that they may not be able to afford but is life-giving and necessary for that individual. So,
and it doesn't have to be the same person every time.
No, it could be unknown people. It could be people in your really extended world and circle of life. And so those are 6 things, 6 beautiful gems that one is taking away, Ma, from today's Wondrous Sunday Collective on this KQ descent of light of gold and purple.
Yeah.
And like Pradipto is saying, that he's saying, Ma, you're looking so beautiful.
So sweet, thank you. I love you too.
Yes. And so as we are at the halfway mark of today's Sunday Collective Live, just requesting all the Sangha, the collective that's joining in live, that what are your questions today and what are your thoughts and experiences that you'd like to share with me?
I think the middle point between the spiritual and the
material
is hard work.
That's what's going to
the link of
bridge
appreciation.
that link of appreciation.
The link of appreciation. When you appreciate the opportunity of work that you're being given, whether it's to clean your house, whether it's to cook the food. I had somebody the other day telling me that she finds it very difficult that she has to cook all the time and her husband doesn't cooperate. So I was just thinking that if she would just be a little bit more hardworking, not just professionally, but to shift her focus a little bit and use that cooking opportunity as showing her love to the person that she was with, and also nurturing her own body. Because when you're cooking with that disinterest and you're complaining at this, domestication of why me, you're putting so much of that negative energy into that food, which you're also going to partake of. Now that you shift the picture and you're really happy cooking that food and really sharing it with your family, and even if a friend drops in, they're all going to be really energized with that compassion, that love, that comfort that you put into that food. So you really need to watch your mind, where it's going and what are the energies that you're cultivating, because those are the seeds that you're putting in the fertile ground of your mind, and they're becoming big trees, and the fruits of those trees you have to harvest and you have to partake of, because there's no other way. There's no new land from where you're going to get some favors, right? Maybe once or twice in your life you may have, but immediate essence of your essential nurturance comes from your own fertile ground of what you've sowed, or the seeds of past karma and the seeds that you're growing now, and that's what you're going to harvest in the immediate future. So you have to be very, very careful. And a good way to practice is to work hard and to really enjoy the opportunities of whatever you've been given to do, and work your way through them. And I feel that there's an impatience. People are always wanting to, have immediate results. So those immediate results sometimes will not come. I'm reminded of a couple who used to really, not like living with their family, and they said that we are going to go to another city and we're going to make a new life and we want to move away from this joint family. And I saw them and I learned a very important lesson from them, or saw it, that they went to this new city. There was a husband and wife and their son and daughter who were like 23 and 21-year-old, and the couple was in their late 40s, and they went to this new city and they had sufficient money to buy a shop, and they filled it with nice goods. And so every morning the wife would get up and she would pack the tiffin and give it to her husband who went to the shop, and to the children who were still finishing their education. So they would go and they would wait and they would come back, and the husband would come back and say, no sale today. And this continued for a good 3-4 months, but they did not stop their commitment to doing the hard work. So every day she would get up, she would pack the tiffin, then after her husband was gone, she would clean the house and the kids to college, and then after a few months the children finished their degrees and they were also at home, and then they decided that they're also going to go with their dad, and many times they would come back and say no sale. But they kept persevering and kept going, and then one day they had a customer and they were very happy. They served him well and all, and then through word of mouth the customers started growing and they started having better business, and then the children opened more shops in close by colonies and things, and they started but the wife still got up at the same time, made the same tiffin boxes, and all three of them went to their individual destinations at the same time early in the morning, opened the shops, cleaned them, and they were very grateful for all the customers. And so they didn't change their habit or the rewards that the customers were bringing or the lack of it, right? They kept that equanimity. But with it came the hard work and the perseverance and repetition of behavior. So it depends on how much of your behavior is bringing you the good fortune and how much is insufficient. And so it just means you have to keep putting more hard work into that purpose that you are trying to unfold without complaining. The father would always say, the customers will come.
Will come.
They will come because we are putting our best effort. And then they did come. And they're doing really well today.
So I like this phrase, Ma, that rather than just looking at it as hard work or working very hard, it's we're putting in our bestest effort consistently without getting disheartened. So is it because they were as a family and there was that positivity, and then and each person was taking responsibility, and so then that responsibility expanded into a collective consciousness of that best effort or that hard work or that working hard, and that's the pattern that they unlocked?
Yes, and also I have to tell you that when they're so wealthy today, they're still living in that simplicity.
Okay.
That's the highest wealth. their humility, their simplicity, and their gratefulness. And their hard work continues. It's a very important part of human nature that whenever we have more money, we start spending more money and more money. I don't understand why.
Yes, Ma, and also that sort of coming back to what you highlighted as the human nature that we always want more and we want it now, like instant Maggi noodles. Immediate and happened. And then we never ask our questions that what effort have I done? What is my responsibility? Where's the hard work or the working hard?
Yeah, I was sending healing to somebody for their new job. And I'd given them a mantra to chant, and I told them that you'll get a job in the next 15-20 days. And then they sent me a message saying, this is the...
Back! Sorry, guys. Back. Let's see. Let's give it a few seconds, Ma. So it was in between, we were in between that story, weren't we?
Which one?
About... you were talking about the family, that they never got disheartened.
And the repetition and the simplicity and the purpose of life.
Yes, Ma.
Yeah. So we have to be simple.
Neha is helping us. Yeah, someone getting a new job. Oh yes, about the mantra. Thank you, Neha.
Yes.
We were trying to get the internet to come back.
Yes, and of course they said that, we have to chant so many times. I said, yes. So I said that, are you committed? So they said, if you tell us, then we'll do it. So I said, yes, you have to do it because, we have to get the job. And then they chanted the mantra and the affirmation that I'd given them. And there was a delay of 3 days and they got the job. They're happy now.
So it's also about us doing the correct action in the correct time frame.
And whatever the guidance that's coming from the universe.
Yes.
It could be an aunt, it could be your mother, it could be somebody telling you, don't do this, do it like this. And people say, they're so superstitious. They're, just saying the wrong thing. They are the ones who are obstructing my destiny from unfolding. But they're just words of caution or words of instruction or words of direction that are coming from the universe.
Absolutely.
So we have to be very vigilant, hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting and touching the truth.
Love that. And so then we have Neha and Fifi. Neha who asks that, Ma, how do we practice calming racing thoughts? Because sometimes these racing thoughts can be from our childhood patterns or could be from a mental illness. And, how do we heal that or deal with it?
Yeah, I always say that the rivers of good fortune flow through the water. So I always tell people whenever you're feeling agitated, take a glass of water and sip it slowly. And in that sipping, work on yourself that what are you taking in to understand that if it's fear, if it's anxiety, you visualize that the water is washing it away. And if you're looking at that water as calming, nurturing, and the vast ocean of good fortune, then that's what's going to go into you. And even splashing your face with cold water is a very good... I think water is the greatest healer. So you should really always... The mind is the moon, and the moon is always the high tide and the low tide. So the water is the most effective element in the material universe that has the ability to nurture us, to still our mind, to calm it down, to give us equanimity and silence and the meditative experience. Yes. And allow in that emptiness and that silence for new thoughts to rush in, which will be helpful.
Yes.
And it's also that, remember that it's your adrenal glands that are creating the highest stress in your body. So they are very close to your kidney chakras and they're activating your relationship with yourself and with the universe. So when we're drinking the water, there is, your kidneys are filtering out that liquid and you're passing it out of your body, and that stress is also being passed out. So it's a very, very calming. So drink lots of water. I think a very good way to keep your day very healthy is to have 3 glasses of water in the first 15 minutes after you wake up.
Wake up.
Can really help to realign your energies with goodness and calmness and balance.
It seems so simple but so powerful, no?
Yeah, but very few people
do it.
Or will do it,
or will
even
do
those
it.
who are listening.
Listening in.
And say, how can we drink so much water first? Try it for a few days.
And see how you
be
feel.
Very healthy.
Wow. And then we have a message of love and gratitude from Mr. Ash, who says, Pranams at your holy lotus feet. The radiance of a million suns fades in your divine presence. Grateful for initiating the world with this most opulent KQ force. The world will always remember.
So sweet. You continue to heal.
Yes, that is the biggest and best remembrance in every breath. And then we have Neha, who says, ever so grateful, Ma, love and best wishes always. And then we have Jaya Bhutani, who says, Ma, how do we deal with dishonest people? In spite of being calm, it just continues.
Why do you see them being dishonest? They're just being who they are. They're being really honest. Only it doesn't suit you.
And also, are you saying dishonest because you want access to their reality and you want information about them that they are unwilling to share with you?
And the divine has planned that you don't need it.
Need it, yeah.
If they're cheating you, then of course you have to protect yourself.
Yeah, cheating is different from dishonest. So maybe you can clarify with an example or just with a comment or something. I'm not sure. Because I feel when people say that, oh, this person is being very dishonest, it's generally in personal or professional relationships, Ma, where we're expecting that, oh, we should have access to all the information. They should tell us everything. But they don't, people, even you are not telling people everything about your strategies, be it in business or then your perceptions, even in friendships. Yes.
And leaving a third friend behind, and then the third friend is saying, oh, they're so dishonest. They didn't invite me and they went and they had fun and, I hate them. But the reality is that you were not, karmically ready to partake of whatever was going to happen there. And so the divine has willed it that you're safe and at home.
Absolutely.
So you have to look at the positive aspect of it and
so if she meant, yes, ma'am, sorry, you were saying, Ma? I'm saying, and if she meant, or for any of us, like who have experienced being cheated, either professionally, personally, so what would then be the healing moment?
The healing moment is that they owed that much in the karmic destiny to that soul, so they have been given the opportunity to pay back and to move ahead. So you have to leave that without complaint and blame, and you have to move ahead and you have to recreate your wealth, you have to recreate your destiny. And so you have to know that one chapter of your life is over and you're going to restart.
And that whatever they took didn't actually make you less.
Yeah, made you actually more.
More. Because it was a debt that you had to pay off. And if it wasn't a debt that you had to pay off, then the divine will give you 10 times that. I mean, that's my...
It's also that when you paid off, you created space in your aura for new good fortune to come. Now, if you keep complaining, dishonest, so remember that more dishonest people will come into your life, because your mind is like a cyclotronic zone, sending out and blasting a message, and then those souls are coming because you're wanting dishonest. So that's why I say that you must always think positive, because whatever is the frequency, it's like a loudspeaker. Whatever frequency of your thoughts is going out, it's like attracts like in the material universe. And so you have to remember that it's very important. I think just in the meditation the other day, I had said that there are 3 things that leave the body and can never be put back in. And one is our speech. And the second is, of course, the bullet that comes out of the pistol. And the third is the soul that leaves the human body. Can never be put back. So you have to be very careful of what you're saying, what you're speaking, and what you're setting off in time in the universe. And if it's a negative frequency word, then you're going to, be limiting yourself by inviting that negative frequency into your arena of your fertile ground, which is not going to create a fertile crop. So you need to really rechange, rewire, reframe your picture of thinking, and remember that there are not dishonest people in the world. They're all doing what is honest to their own heart.
And that may be very destructive for you. So you need to protect yourself. You need to be
out of the way.
Moving out of the way.
And how do you move out? By getting connected to healing and healing yourself, or taking action by being positive, even just affirming that you're a positive person, and today you will not allow those 66,000 thoughts in your mind to be negative. It's a great effort to actually realign yourself with the positive, and we will send you healing. Always. That you meet honest people.
Absolutely. She says, thank you, Ma. Wow, that explains all of it. Love you so much.
Love you, Beta.
And then we have Mohit, who says, greetings, love you, ma'am. And Divya, we love you too.
We love you, Mohit.
He's requesting healings and blessings, please.
Oh, yes, lots of healing for your work, for mom, sister, and create beautiful things. He's very creative.
Yes. And then we have Shivani Huja, who has just joined us. Sweet. So happy to have you in the tribe, Shivani, and the collective. Yes. And then we have Binu Lad, who says, Ma, bowing down to your lotus feet. Earlier this year, you blessed me with golden light for success at work. I am feeling so grateful to share that I just got an elevated role at my workplace.
Oh, so happy. I'm so happy for you. Work hard and set a nice platform for your success ahead.
And then we have many more messages of love from Rekha Masi, Jasleen, and others. And then we have, to come back to the cheetah and the cheated story, we have Neera Auntie, who asked that we should think like this in husband and wife also, Ma.
If your husband is cheating, then you should really let go of him. But if it's other things that you can put up with, then if you're servant or somebody in your employment is cheating, then you really need to make changes. But human relationships, people will always cheat.
Yes.
You could be cheating your sister could be cheating her husband, the husband may be cheating the son or his mother. Everybody is making some plan or the other to cheat each other. But finally, it's about their plans are based on the karmic resonance that is emanating from your own Kundalini chakra.
Yes.
But I find that, cheating in a marriage is very destructive. That we need to take action upon.
Yes, Mom. And then we have Avishi Dayal, who says, thank you, ma'am, for all your love and healing. Always remembering you. I love you.
We love you too.
I met you in my dream last night. Grateful to have your magical presence in my dream. Love you always. How sweet.
Nice.
How mystical. And then we have Parshvati. We love you, Parshvati. She's been waiting.
From her holiday.
I don't know. Please tell us if you're back from your holiday, Parshvati. But she asked that, dear master, I wanted to know about the Golden Cloud seminar.
Happening very soon.
Very, very soon.
Yeah.
And then
everybody's waiting for a personal face-to-face seminar. Not doing it on Zoom, so we are working on it.
Absolutely. So we have the Fringe Majority, who says, can you please save this video after the live and reload it? Thanks. We always do. So if you go to Ma's YouTube channel, which is called just Renooji, that's the title of the channel, we have a lot of the archived Sunday collectives, and this one will also be up very soon, between today and tomorrow. So go follow that channel if you guys haven't, because that's where I'll be loading and have been uploading the previous archived Sunday Collective. So much knowledge. It's like a library of spirituality and materiality bridged together with love and compassion, Ma. Yes.
Yes, to always stay happy.
Yes, yes,
That's
yes.
The ultimate truth is how to be centered in satisfaction. Because that's what makes us happy, when we are satisfied.
When we're satisfied.
Satisfaction comes from the root and the solar plexus, and the experience of bliss and consciousness and truth comes from the third eye and the crown. So when they go matched, then everything is perfect.
Perfectly aligned.
And that makes us humble.
I love that. And we have a healing request and a healing sharing. We have Bhavna Gulati, who says, "Ma'am, you're looking so pretty as always." And then her message is that with your blessings, Ma, Shaurya will begin his career on the 27th.
Wonderful,
and she says, seeking your blessings for an accommodation. Very, very grateful, Ma.
Lots of congratulations and love.
And then we have a message of love and a request for healing from Sonali Didi, who says, "Love you, Mom, so much."
Love you.
Ma, request healings for parents.
Mom and Dad.
Yes.
That's so sweet. All mom and dads are receiving healing right now from me in the world.
I love
so
it.
that everybody is satisfied, is grateful, and is receiving what they want and need right now.
And then we have Divakshi, who says, "Love you, Ma," and
Love
Divya,
you.
we love you too. She says, "Thank you for all the positivity, light and strength you bring into our lives."
So sweet. We love you. Take this with you in your life forward, especially to the new house.
Yes. And then we have Mamta Dhingra, who says that it all began from the magical, mystical KQ force. Grateful for the initiation, for you, Ma, for being our guru, and for the divine.
I love you all, everywhere.
Yes, Ma.
Be in the moment, be loving, and share the light with others.
So remember those 6 steps and the bridge
Of
of
appreciation
and hard work.
And stay well, and we love you. Big hugs, and see you next Sunday.
Yes, and so before we do that final, we have a very important question, which I
Yes.
didn't even think about.
Just tell me.
Is that Jaya Bhutani asked that what is the KQ force? Yes, that is good. I just assumed that everyone already
KQ
knew.
Force is a healing modality that we teach and initiate people to, who can take the connection and use a few moments of their time every day to connect to it, download it, and spread it forward. And it's a healing modality which heals your karma.
And it was actually seen, downloaded, and shared by Ma. So yes.
19 years ago.
19 years ago. So
come and get connected.
Connected, yes.
Love you.
Love you, Ma. Love you
God
all
bless.
so much.
Bye-bye.